live.
It's March 30th, 2021, and you know why you're here, so let's kick this off right and introduce the players. Hey, I am Gerissar, a PvP Padawan.
Hey everyone, I am Andallyn, and welcome to the show. Today, take two, we have our distinguished guest, Rusty, the man with a plan from down under. Rusty, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. We chilling, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous because you get to be in Wednesday while we're still stuck in Tuesday. So
I'm in the future.
Ooh.
Literally from the future.
Yes.
How is Wednesday?
Is it safe?
It's pretty chill.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going alright so far. You know, pretty good weather and all that. Nothing too crazy happening.
Nice. So, why don't here, Rusty? Tell us about yourself. Tell the people that are listening who you are. How long you been playing WoW for, even? What's going on?
Okay, I've been playing WoW for since 2007, so quite a while. I'm a Holy Priest main.
Years. Yeah.
Yeah, been main a Holy Priest for a few years. Mainly PvP stuff. I only really do arenas and that, but I'm out here making it work.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Yep.
So, do you do RBGs as well, or just arenas?
I do RBGs sometimes, but only to get like my conquest and honor cap. I don't really look for points and rating in RBGs too often.
Okay. Just for the rewards. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm kind of the same way too. If I'm like, oh, I really need some honor, hit up some RBGs. Yep. It's kind of fun to do it every once in a while, but I'm not gonna lie, I miss doing some RBG grind. That was fun back in the day. Yeah. So, but yeah,
I do miss it as well. So hold on. So we got you this on the show though because you've been playing Holy Priest longer than it's been Flavor of the Month or Flavor of the Week, really, because that's where we're at. So how long have you actually? So you've been playing since 2007. Were you playing Holy Priest? Like, was that your first go-to?
No. So I used to actually main a mage as well back then.
Okay. I think everybody
never really
mage.
did a.
Yeah. At some point or another.
I never really did PvP too seriously back then. I would just like play the game. You know, the WoW experience back. You know, when you're like a new player, you're experiencing everything. But I would just like do my professions, do dungeons, just casual stuff. And now, towards the end of Mob, towards the end of Wrath, started Mob. I started actually PvPing, and that's when I started setting up keybinds and stuff as well, because I never used to have keybinds or anything. I would just click everything. I was like, this is crazy. Like, I can do so much more abilities, so much more faster.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was doing arenas, and I was like, this is so cool. And then that's what originally got me into doing arenas. And then I started playing more classes, trying to figure out what I actually like, what feels good, and stuck with Feral Druid for a bit, and I got pretty high rating back then. And then I was like, I couldn't find queues as often as a Feral Druid because there's only a few comps you can play really in arenas.
Yeah, true.
As a Feral, and then I couldn't find queues, and I was getting kind of sick of not finding queues. So then I re-rolled a healer, which was a priest, which I had originally started playing as an alt during the time, just healing, not a main or anything, and I would play disc and holy, but disc was more of the favorite spec in arenas like it usually is.
Yeah.
But I would try and make holy work, and everyone would tell me whenever I would join the group as holy. It's funny because everyone would be like, "Oh, you're holy," and they'd already doubt me.
Oh boy.
Like, yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, you're a Holy Priest. We'll try a game," and then we would end up winning or losing. But if we won, they'll keep queuing. But it's like it was kind of rough to try and be a Holy Priest back when it wasn't really viable, because everyone already doubted you before you even like did anything. You know?
Yeah.
That's what made me want to make it work even more.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
Just to prove the doubters.
Yeah.
Adversity can really be. Sorry, go ahead.
No. You first. But
adversity can really be an invigorating or inspiring kind of force there. So I totally get that. I appreciate that. Much respect in that regard. But Gerissar, go on.
Well, I was just gonna. I think what you went through, you could actually start like a little support group, because I think Mistweaver kind of feeling that right now, where Yeah. We should link you up with our buddy Mystical, and you guys can create a non-flavor of the month healers club or something like
Vanilla healers.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's misleading, but yeah. Absolutely. Nice.
Press on. You gotta press on through the bad times. Wait for the good times.
That's right.
Oh, of course. It's always.
Yeah, I feel like there's some kind of song about that or something, but yeah. Anyway, let's talk about what we've been up to these past 2 weeks. So we always start with anyone other than Gerissar. So Gerissar, what have you been up to these past 2 weeks, man? Kick us off.
I feel like you're setting me up knowing what the answer is. So today's my birthday. So yay!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Mr. President.
Settle down
unfortunately, I didn't cap out my Great Vault because I didn't actually do much last week. I actually had last week off, but I was doing a bunch of the honey to-do list and whatever. I was able to get my 4 mythic dungeons in for that free mythic or the 213 gear for the weekly, which I ended up getting a trinket, which was kind of disappointing. I was really hoping for a weapon. But anyway, whatever. It is what it is. So didn't get Great Vault, so I didn't get a birthday present in the Great Vault, if you will. But at least, yeah, Sag, it's all good. I only have myself to blame because I didn't try hard to even push any keys or do anything to earn the vault. So if you don't earn it, then I shouldn't get it, right? But today I was actually able to get in there, and I did a bunch of my chores, if you will. So I kind of got ahead of that. Usually I don't start that stuff till like Thursday or Friday. So now I have like a bunch of time on the week. I can get that stuff done, and it's not that big deal. I don't feel the half the week gone, and I still haven't got ahead of the weekly chore stuff. So I feel good about that.
Good.
Yeah. Andallyn, how about you? What have you been up to, buddy?
Ooh, let's see. I've been, so I enjoyed, this answer's going to be a little weird. It's going to be like, what is he talking about? But this is what I've been up to. So Asmongold started streaming again, and I was watching it, and I kind of started watching when he was watching these videos about this guy who's talking about the state of MMOs and all this stuff, and it was this video that was specifically addressing, like, hey, do you think or he was making a case for the fact that it's not the game that's gotten worse, it's your quality of life that's actually gotten worse, and that's why you perceive the game to be not as good as it used to be, which was like a, whoa, dude, a little too close to home kind of opinion. That was kind of funny, but there's also some kind of truth to it, and I started talking with my friend about it, and we were like, let's go play an old game that we haven't played before. Because that's what he suggested. He said, I encourage you. He's like, if you haven't done this before, and like, let's take the nostalgia factor out of the game. Because if it's true that all these old games are that actually better than what they make them now, if you go play an old game, like if you played Ultima Online back in the day, go play old school RuneScape. Or so we've been playing EverQuest 2. We're just like, let's just do it, and we've been having fun. It's been enjoyable, but now we're just kind of, he works and I don't right now, so I'm just kind of been finding myself back in some new goals in Overwatch. So it is what it is, but I still hop in WoW and we do some gold farming, and we'll, if people are on and be like, yo, you want to do some twos or. Yeah, that's my state of WoW right now. Is I'll log on if someone wants to do something, but other than that, I just jump around a city for a few minutes and don't have anyone to play with and just log off. So,
you don't try the LFG and see what you can get done there?
I do, but I'm just so sick and tired of the same old thing over and over and over again. No one's really looking for anything that's really consistent. They're just looking for a quick surge of maybe 1 or 2 Qs games. Or if I finally, I can keep running 2s, but I don't have any desire to keep running 1,400 MMR 2s with a random person. I just don't. If it's 1,400 MMR 2s with somebody that I know, then it's okay, I can enjoy it, but it's just I
But you're invested. You're invested with your friend rather than
exactly.
just some random person.
And the difference is when I play with this random person, oftentimes it results to me having to stretch myself out, not to get frustrated, not to be like I need to try and find a really, really positive way to be constructive or to help show this person about positioning. And it takes a lot of energy and effort, and I'm just like, I'm just not in the mood for that right now.
Yeah.
So, just really raw way to put it, but
no, it's the truth though, right?
Yeah, that's just been my experience as of late. But I've also been building a gazebo out in my backyard, so that's been fun.
Nice.
I love the steps that require 5 people and 3 ladders to perform. So, it's a big gazebo. I'll have to show you some. I'll show you some pictures here at some point, maybe, because it's turning into an oasis back there. So
you should put that up in the Discord there. And
yeah, I will. Absolutely, Rusty.
Awesome.
Tell us what you've been up to these past 2 weeks, man.
Pretty much same old. I've been actually in the LFG Grind myself lately.
Really?
It's kind of rough. Yeah. I mean, I have a 3s team that we usually queue with, but we all took a break for a little bit, and like after the new patch come out, just like adjust on what we need to get, like maybe switch governance or whatever. And so I've been on the LFG Grind myself, mainly forward in 3s, which is kind of rough. I take a lot of points, but you know, you got to do what you got to do sometimes to queue, because the one thing I don't like about getting higher rating is find less queues. So it's like you can't play as much as you want to.
Yeah.
Unless you have like a solid team that are always on and stuff, which we were just taking a break and stuff. So yeah, I've been just getting into teams that are like 200, 300 points lower than me in 3s, just randoms, and queuing it up. We weren't gaining rating, but we weren't losing like a heap. Okay. And it's just like, you know, it's just so I can play the game at least, you know, because it's either I queue them or I don't play the game. But 2s has been alright. On my Alliance Priest, it's something like 2200 or something. I don't really look to push it, because my Horde Priest is, if I wanted to push 2s, I'd push it on my Horde Priest. So at least I can do 2s with whoever on my Alliance Priest. But that's about it, really. Just queuing up, LFG Grind.
So I'm curious there. How do you find the difference in the LFGs between Alliance and Horde then?
Yeah, the LFG in Alliance is a lot less populated. It's a little harder to find queues in Alliance LFG compared to Horde. I think there's just more players on Horde.
Yeah,
at least
I've heard the
for
same.
The lower ranks. Yeah.
I've seen it, and I've heard the same. I just was wondering if you're feeling the same. Battle groups and well, because although you're Australia, you said you're still playing on the NA servers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What server are you playing on?
I play on Tichondrius.
Tichondrius. Okay.
You in a guild?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Do you want to be
a lone wolf? I think my alliance is in a guild, but I'm just in it for the free guild affairs, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're Alliance side. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, I'm both. I have Alliance and a Horde Priest.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And they're both on Tichondrius?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Alliance on Tichondrius. That's ballsy.
Yeah. There's a larger amount of people on Alliance Tichondrius than you would actually be led to think there were. But
oh really?
Yeah, it's surprising.
I thought it was mostly Horde.
It is, because it's a very heavily Horde PvP dominant server or realm, I guess. But there's a significant Alliance population. So, like you said, some people like that that adversity and say, you know what, I'm going to be in the minority here, and I'm going to show people what's up. So, but anyway,
well, if you want, Rusty, I happen to be in a Horde guild on Tichondrius called Auxiliary. So,
yeah,
you might enjoy it.
I'll join.
All right.
Why not?
I don't know. Why not? I think they're. I know they took down Sire. I think on Heroic. I'm not sure they got it down on Mythic. I think they're trying for Cutting Edge though. So they're.
Yeah.
But then they also do a bunch of RBGs, and there's a bunch of PvP as well. So.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, since I'm done advertising the guild, why don't we roll into the need, greed, and pass and see what Andallyn has in store for us today.
This likely won't be a clean fight, so keep your distance, eh?
All right, the need, greed, and pass. I always love when it's my week because I think when I wake up on Tuesday morning, hey, I have need, greed, pass this time. And I've been spending a lot of time this morning and afternoon, really trying to be cerebral about, what a good need, greed, pass would be. And I've thought in light of recent events, we'd go with something like this. So Rusty is a basic idea here, in case it wasn't obvious already. Need, greed, pass is a simple segment we play where one of us, in this case me, will present you 3 different things, all right? And it's your choice on which one of those 3 you're going to need on, you're going to greed on, and which one you're going to pass on. All right? You can only need on one, you can only greed on one, and pass on one. So here's what we have this week, okay? Blizzard HQ. Blizzard HQ has just hired a huge block of new devs who all blank. Okay? So we're going to fill in that blank with one of 3 things. The first is this new block of devs all has played the game a ton and still does today. 2, is hyper involved with the community and very keen and privy to what's going on with them. Or 3, has an extensive amount of experience and very decorated in game design in the industry around MMOs. Okay? So those are the 3 options. This whole block of devs can either be 1, very, very experienced in playing the game, always has played the game and still does. Or 2, privy to what the community wants and very hyper involved in the community itself. Or 3, very decorated in terms of experience with lots of in the industry of game design and the MMO scene.
All right.
Okay.
Need, greed, or pass?
I pick one for each of them, right?
That's correct. And you can go first if you feel like you know what your answer is, or you could be like, Gerissar's going to go. You totally have the right to do that.
I'm ready.
All right, you go.
All right. I'm going to need on the hyper involved in the community.
I knew you would say that.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, need that huge. I think that is something that is sorely missing and has been for years. Really, for the most part, we only have like 1 or 2 devs that communicate with the community, and I think a lot of them do it. They're very gun shy when they do it nowadays. They're so concerned about how what they say is going to be taken, and if they don't deliver on it, then that's emotionally exhausting, and then the backlash from the community is not comfy. So I understand the reasoning why, but I still think it needs to happen. We've talked about it time and time again. That was by far an easy need. I'm gonna say greed on the extensive experience in game design, because I'm gonna pass on the WoW experience. I would say I think part of the state of the game right now is where it's at because of the amount of game experience, and as the game devs grew older and tried to implement some conveniences because of what they were feeling, and I'm enjoying them as well, being 44 now and having a job and kids and all that other stuff. I mean, I do like being able to just randomly queue into a dungeon and run through it and not think about it. But at the same time, I think that stuff has hurt the community. But I think also a bunch of the stuff that's being designed today is because of the experience of the player, the people that are designing it, and I think we need to get in new blood. And I think getting somebody that has an extensive game design experience. I'm not saying that the game designers we have don't have that, but I think getting some new blood and not being experienced in the game could actually do us some good. Yeah, fresh eyes, fresh thoughts, fresh ideas, right? So,
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to say.
Interesting. Okay. Rusty, are you set on what you want?
Yeah, I agree with Need on number 2, where they're hyper into the community and stuff and listening and want to improve. But the other two are kind of hard. I mean, I agree with what you're saying with like they're growing older and they do play the game as well. It's like that's pretty much what we're in right now. But also, there's a lot of bugs in the game that I feel like if the devs actually played it and experienced it, they would have more motivation to fix it still. Because there's bugs that have been around for months still that haven't been fixed. It's like a big deal. Like the MC bug, for example, the mind control bug where it glitches you around. Like that's still not fixed. If I'm pretty sure, but yeah. So it's like
Farzano's still there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like if they played and they were like if they did arenas and stuff, they would see and probably motivate them to fix it a lot faster. But things like that. But yeah, I agree. Maybe pass on the experience that they play and stuff. I think I agree with everything you said as well.
Okay. Andallyn, what about you, buddy?
So, I'm gonna need on number 1 that they all have played the game extensively and still do. And Rusty, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there for my reasoning behind that. Is I think that there's a different mental space that you're in when it's like, hey, I'm gonna go take care of somebody's house, as opposed to I'm gonna go take care of my house. And
Yeah.
right now, I think that there's not the best analogy to use, but it's like it can be likened to that kind of concept where I think that if a larger portion of the dev team was present in the game and actually had a player presence, they would be more inclined to see the perspective of the player because they share the perspective of the player. Because right now, I think what is being sought after in terms of priorities and what needs to be fixed and what doesn't need to be fixed is game developer issues, not player issues. Because when you fix things like the random hot fixes that no one has ever even heard about, like month after month after month, and fix problems with like, oh, the game time can only now be bought in increments of 60 days. You're not solving player issues. You're solving game developer issues. And some of those aren't even game developer issues. So I think I would need strongly on, I would want all these devs to play the game rigorously, people who love the game. Not that you have to, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, like non-casuals, like super into it kind of thing.
Absolutely. I'm going to actually greed on the experienced MMO or game design experience. And I think that's just with anyone who's putting is stepping into the MMO field right now is going to understand the unique challenges that are going to be very difficult, especially WoW has to try to overcome here to like what you mentioned, Gerissar, make the game accessible to people who are in their youth, but also make the game accessible to its initial fan base and its loyal fan base who are now in their 30s, 40s, the boomers, right? Or quote unquote boomers. So, I think that that's important. It's a unique challenge. And then lastly, I would pass on the community thing. I think that the community thing is a double-edged sword. I think it's really good to have a transparent community, like just to be like have the presence of like what was his name? Ghost something? Ghostcrawler, like in the forums. Like I think that kind of presence is really good in terms of the community. But I also think that the negative side of this double-edged sword of the community presence is the following of whims that the mobbastic kind of community can take it. So like I don't want Blizzard so involved in the community that they're just like the Twitter mob now says solo queue, and so all of a sudden they're like, whoa, we got to release solo queue, and then the game's just like, and then the community's just like, this game is crap. How come all these problems are here as a direct result of solo queue? Why would you do this to us, Blizzard? You know, like that meme with the guy sticking the stick in the spokes of his bike. You know, so I think that there's a healthy balance between that and you know, playing on one side of that to say, yes, we're going to be present in the community because we want you guys to feel like, you know, you're involved in this journey with us. But also at the same time, not being like, okay, whatever you guys want, you know, and being so naive.
Yeah.
Not that Blizzard's done that, but, you know, it's... Some people have made a case that was kind of the way that Classic would be, but, you know, that's another discussion.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. It's well, and Blizzard's been accused of that before, just with somebody going into the forums and complaining that another class is overly OP, and they go ahead and they nerf that other class. Meanwhile, the class that same class that was complaining was also OP, but they completely avoided a nerf that, right? So
right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
all right.
I feel like if you have devs that play the game, you don't get affliction locks that are completely irrelevant for a whole entire expansion.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah. I have nothing to say on that other than yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's why don't we talk about the PvP events, and hopefully if there's a game dev actually listening, they can know where to go and see some excellent gameplay.
I don't hate anyone. I love you if you're a game dev. I'm just providing constructive criticism. I just want to put that out there as a nice little disclaimer, but
too late.
All right, let's talk about the PvP events.
Let's talk about them. So, Andallyn Gaming still doing his duels. Those are pretty awesome. Again, always on Twitter is where he calls them out. He streams them over on Facebook, remember? And Flark, I don't know when he's doing tournaments. He's been doing some seriously hardcore RBGs over through his community. Coaching, carrying, making groups with viewers, just community stuff. It's been very, very productive for him. So I don't know if we're going to be coming back to the tournaments at all. But if you need to, you can go check those out. That should get scratched out. There was going to be a tournament by Oasis, but it got canceled due to lack of interest. Lack of signups, unfortunately. And let's see here. What else? We have... but the Diabolus Death Bowl is back. This time it's going to be in NA servers, or for NA people. It's over on the TR realm, actually, though. So signups end on the 6th, if I remember, and the tournament's going to be on the 15th, or the week of the 15th there. Okay. So just go to the Diabolus Diabolus-esports.com, and you'll see the Death Bowl stuff there and all the links for that. And again, they're going to continue doing those on a monthly basis. And then we also have the RBG League that we mentioned last episode. So the round robin format continues. I believe the next round is going to be actually this Thursday on the 1st of April. And that should be the 5th week of the 5-week round robin. And then we'll see who the grand finals are going to be on the 8th of April. So that's pretty interesting.
All right.
And what else? Oh, and then we have the official Blizzard tournaments, right?
Yes, the circuit, which we've already been watching.
Yes. So, I'm trying to think. the circuit, there's 2 weeks that have already happened. This weekend is going to be a skip over because it's Easter weekend, right? And I think they return again on the 10th, if I remember correctly. Or the 10th, April the 10th. So and then so that'll be week 3, and then week 4 should be the 17th and 18th of April, and then we'll see who comes out as the top 4 for the grand finals for season 1. I'm pretty excited. I'm a little surprised with how the standings are. Have you been tracking the standings at all? But Space Station Gaming not doing so well.
Yeah.
OTK not doing so well.
OTK took a game though in an exciting series, going up against what was it? Was it Method NA? Yeah. So that was really fun to watch. But
Yes.
Space Station Gaming's been struggling ever since Gorecki quit.
Yeah.
So
That was very, very sad.
it's a tough like hit. That's really. They've been really resilient considering the fact that they lost Gorecki, in terms of the fact that they are still competitive and they're still like, I think they brought on Tiki. They were trying to figure out the name. Venruki confirmed it. And I still forgot it.
Yeah, it was Tiki because his other alt was Taki.
Taki, that's right.
So, TikTok.
Yes. So.
But I mean, honestly, I've been very, very excited to watch the Unitask guys and see how
absolutely.
they've been. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oxygen's been doing really well since he's been pulling out that Holy Priest. So.
But that's the Australian team, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're Australian and Latin American.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So it's Oxygen, Aiden, and
oh my gosh.
oh shoot!
I
just brain farted the other.
I can see his face with the curly hair.
CMD.
CMD, yeah. And then there's one more.
Wait. You know you could do that, like have a cross-region team.
Yeah.
'Cause what happens if it's like the like an oceanic? If it's like an oceanic tournament, then what happens? So are they like not allowed to play in it, or?
So they don't typically do oceanic tournaments. They normally lump in oceanic with North American, in terms of tournament regions. They do have like other situations where they'll hold like the Korean or Taiwanese or Latin America specific cups where like, you know, they lock you into certain regions. But in terms of oceanic players, they lump them in with North America.
Okay, cool. That's a good.
I think the only when they changed the rules for the BFA Cup and they went to NA and EU only, they let the Oceanic slide into the NA side since you guys are all on the same server anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And then my understanding is the China and Taiwan cups or in Korea and all that are their own separate region. I think they're being managed under something else if they're happening at all.
Yeah, they're managed under sub. Well, in the past they've been managed under different tournament hosting brands, I guess.
Yeah, organizations.
That's the best word to use. Yeah.
So, but so anyways, so it's pretty cool how Unitask was able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, they're a solid team, but watching them during the circuit play has been an absolute pleasure. Just saying. And following up all that, once the AWC circuit ends, we are going to start seeing the MDI Global Finals while we wait to find out what the teams are and the dates for the AWC Finals. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'll be the Blizzard tournaments just keep rolling. They're going to keep us busy probably all the way till November from the looks of it.
Yeah, and if anyone's interested in the MDI, it looks like Perplexed and Echo are the teams to watch for the MDI as we would
Yes.
jump into the global finals. They've both been, it looks like it's been a little bit more competitive than all of the commentators and maybe forecasters would have thought it might have been. They thought Echo was probably going to have a much bigger hold this year, but Perplexed has come onto the scene. Not in the sense that they're newcomers, but in the sense that they've stepped up their game in terms of challenging Echo very extensively, and it's going to be a very, very heated competition. So,
Agreed. All right. Well, let's roll into the actual subject of analysis here, and let's start picking Rusty's brain and finding out everything we need to know about Holy Priest, since this will be the first time we've actually talked about Holy Priest on this podcast, if you can imagine.
Wow.
126 episodes in.
Damn.
I'm gonna light you up, sweet cheeks.
All right.
The first trick was finding somebody that played it as much as you did.
Yeah. Well, I guess now is our time. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So all right, Gerissar, start this out because this is your favorite part. So.
Yes, this is. I don't say it's my favorite part. I think it's the one that comes down to the nuts and bolts part.
I mean,
but, so I guess. So normally we've been talking about these classes because we've been talking about classes we've already had on and whatnot. We usually would start off with a what's changed since BFA, but I'm going to do this a little bit differently because we haven't talked Holy Priest before. So
Yeah.
Kind of run me through this like I guess like I'm a 7-year-old. Like how does a Holy Priest kind of function in an arena setting? Like what does it bring that's different than, I guess, or does it play different than the other healers? Is it basically like a disc? Tell me.
Okay, it plays different than a disc priest, but I feel like it's kind of more like a holy pally, kind of a little bit, except your stun is like a longer range and a little bit shorter, and it's like a holy pally cross a resto shaman, if you will, with the purges and like more offensive plays as well.
Okay.
Other than Holy Pally has a lot of defensives and a stun, so it's like a cross between both of them a little bit. But yeah, it doesn't do big consistent damage like a disc priest would. How they have like what is it called?
Atonement.
Yeah, atonement, where you do damage to heal and vice versa. It's more like it's got a little bit more control with the stun though. So it's like that's like the off play of it, I guess.
Okay.
So you swap after the damage, but it does big damage still, but more in bursts rather than consistently. Makes sense. So like when you stun, it actually does a big chunk of damage usually. If you take a chastise stun, and then playing Venthia, Mind Games, and then Holy Fire, like it's pretty big burst. But so a lot of the comps that you want to play is like setup kind of comps, like Rogue Mage, like Hunter comps. But yeah, I mean lately you can play a lot of things usually because it's like meta right now apparently, and like, you can play even double melee cleaves. It's like doing really well. Ret Warriors, Holy Priest.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So what contributes to, in your opinion, to the Holy Priest being meta right now? Is it something about the amount of throughput? Is it the amount of a special cooldown that seems broken? Why do you think that the Holy Priest is such in a good light in the meta?
Okay, this is funny. I get this question actually sometimes in my stream.
Cool.
People ask me what happened to make it become more viable, because no one's seen any like big changes, right? Big buffs or nerfs since Shadowlands come out, and so it actually has been the exact same since Shadowlands come out. And I mean, leveling renown and stuff in Conduits gets you like obviously make you do more healing and etc. But so that's like over the course from the start of Shadowlands to now. But nothing like major has happened ever since. It's just I feel like more people are realizing that you can actually play this expansion opposed to like last expansion where it was disc. And also the disc nerfs also maybe pushed a few more people to try it, and everyone just caught on.
So it's kind of like a trailblazer. Do you think that there was a particular person that maybe started playing Holy Priest that popularized it, or is it maybe more so like an actual? Is it abilities, or maybe we'll talk abilities after that? But
yeah, it's just because last expansion and like whenever Holy Priest hasn't been that great, you have like Holy Priest has a lot of healing abilities like they do other healers, which makes it fun, but they never used to do enough healing to be worth playing or even pressing half of them. Like there's a few abilities right now that they cost a lot of mana, and they're meant to be like emergency heals. Like Flash Heal, for example, is meant to be an emergency heal, but you can't out heal someone's damage with Flash Heal, even if you're spamming it uninterrupted. But the way it works, so Flash Heal is like it's like a button you press. It's like a mana burn to get Serenity back up, because when you press Flash Heal, it resets your Serenity. So you didn't really use it to heal, but yeah, I mean so a lot of other heals do things. It's mainly your Serenities and your Guardian and stuff, but you work around that. And the thing that makes it fun is it's like a lot of your healing abilities work as a cooldown resetter for another bigger heal kind of thing. So,
okay.
So do you find that? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think people started playing it more is because someone started playing it, or people were playing it in tournaments, and I guess people watching it and they seen that they did pretty well in tournaments, and like, oh, maybe it's viable, and they probably tried it, and then everyone else seen other people playing it, because it was like pretty sudden. I started seeing like a lot of Holy Priest suddenly, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I have that actually. So this is interesting because I remember in BFA, people were playing Holy Priest and in twos, and it was getting pretty high rate. They're getting pretty high rated because they were like unkillable kind of thing. There was some weird stuff going on. And I think that a lot of it happened in the last season there because of corruption and whatnot.
Yeah.
But what actually happened was Unitas. They brought out the Holy Priest RMP, and in Cup number 4, and went really far, and they knocked out some of the tier 1 teams, OTK being one of them, if I remember correctly. And it was that was at the 4th Cup, so it was a couple weekends ago, and or a few weeks ago, and then right after that, all of a sudden, everybody who was a disc priest was playing a Holy Priest. It's like
that was probably the same time I was thinking about.
So
suddenly switch. Like I started seeing them suddenly.
So if you're a disc, what would convince you to play Holy? Just like a desperation move? Like is it the fact that maybe Holy has a better mana management capabilities than Discipline? Because I know that's been a thorn in the side of the 9.0 Discipline Priest is the fact that I'm just you know.
Yeah, I feel like Disc and Holy aren't like I don't think Disc is bad right now. Like it's definitely still viable.
Absolutely.
But in terms of like a twos, like if you're playing twos, for example, I'd probably say Holy's a little bit better because of the mana. Because you obviously trade off, you lose damage because Disc is like an offensive healer that has damage, but they also go fast because of that. So like that's their trade off. They'll do a lot of damage, but they'll also faster. Yeah. Whereas in a twos game, they're usually long games anyway, so you want to prioritize the mana rather than the rest. So I feel like Holy's probably a little bit better in twos right now, and you have more control. And also in threes even, you probably like most comps you play with Disc, you play as Holy right now anyway, and you'll probably do it just as well, and you'll have more mana in most cases. Okay. I mean everything has a counter, but
Gotcha.
So just a quick question, because I know one of the problems with Disc, like you said, the mana, but they also they can never sit down. There's no chance to really get a drink. It's not like a holy pally or a druid can go and drink for a bit. Does Holy Priest have the opportunity where you can get a drink in, or is it just as go where if you're not pressing something, somebody's gonna die?
Sometimes it really depends on. So like in a twos game, it's a lot easier to get drinks, especially if you're playing with like a mage. You kind of have to work drinks off of your teammates.
Yep.
So say you're playing like with a mage, for example, and whatever mage something, and they have combust up. They combust like off cooldown. So when they press combust, the other team's gonna like try and run away and like be defensive, right? Because they're not gonna stand in the open. So that's when you'll use that time for yourself to run backwards and get a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it a lot easier as a Holy Priest if you have Guardian Serenity up, because that's like, as you know, Guardian, like, you can't dive it on, because if you die, it just like procs and they go to 40% health.
Okay.
So if you have Guardian Serenity, you can like kind of risk a little bit more time letting them get low if you can just peek around the corner and press Guardian Serenity.
Okay.
So you can get a little bit more drinks, yeah.
Okay.
I suppose, I mean, opposed to Disc, where it's like, they don't really have an emergency like back wall. They got PS, but that's not I guess not going to stop you from dying if you're really low.
Yeah, you'd have to like double tap Radiance and then you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just waste the mana you already just
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I have to ask. So this is the part that Andallyn was alluding to. The part I always go into is kind of the roles. The roles that a spec. Like what does it bring to the table? So you're saying what? Yeah. So for the Holy Priest, you're saying that they do damage. How much? What damage are we talking about? Like, is this like 15k DPS? Are you looking at? Like, or are you looking at 5?
Maybe not 15k DPS, but we have so it's like mind games. You want to be Venthyr either way, right? As a priest, pretty much all priest specs are Venthyr anyway. At least Disc and Holy. Some go other things for Holy. I've seen Sea playing some other Covenant, but to do big damage. So like, if you want to play setup comps, the burst damage is prioritized because you get the CC and then you get stunned and then you can like do the big burst damage. It's like how Rogue Mage plays and stuff. And I play a lot of that, so I take Shattered Perceptions as a conduit, which makes my mind games do even more damage. And I can get like sometimes like 14k crits mind games, and then Holy Fires, Death. It's like the combo. So during the stun, at like 45%, I'll just mind games Death, and if it crits, then I usually just die from the Death because they get low enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's even
okay.
Holy Fire does a big chunk of damage, like 6k, 7k sometimes. You got mind games and then Holy Fire if they're in a stun. If it's in a 2s game and you're taking Chastise stun as well, that's also like another like 4 or 5k, and then so you stun them, mind games, Holy Fire. That's a big chunk of damage for a healer at least.
Yeah.
Hey, like,
and a full stun.
Yeah. It's like they can't stop the mind games or the Holy Fire in the Chastise.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we know that. It kind of gives me a better idea because I didn't know how much damage you're actually talking about. Obviously, you're there to heal, so there's that.
Yeah.
For the support though, like for CC, I mean, obviously you have the typical tool chest that a priest has, right? You have the mind control, you have the psychic scream for the AoE fear, the shackle for the undead, you got the dispels. But so you also have Holy Ward. So that one's cool. The anti CC. Yeah. That's pretty fun. And also
Greater Fade.
Yeah. Greater. But that's just for yourself though. That's not helping out teammates, right? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
All right. And then is there anything else that you got to help out the team?
I mean, Power Infusion, every priest has that though. There's Guardian as well. The Guardian you can put on people, make them a little bit more offensive because they're not so scared.
Okay, cool. All right. So that's kind of the deal. I always like to compartmentalize those pieces so we understand what kind of different toolkits a spec brings to the table. But,
there's also, actually, I missed one. Hollywood Concentration. It's not really played too much this expansion, but it's like a thing you can put on the ground. It's like a big circle you put on the ground, and whoever stands in it has like an Aura Mastery hard cast, uninterruptible cast. So like if you're playing double caster, like Mage Warlock, put that on the ground. Yeah, and they can start casting their Chaos Bolts, whatever, and you can't interrupt them. There's that.
Oh, that'd be... Oh my gosh.
Nice.
I think it's time to break out the Destro Lock again.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, that's good to know. So now I know what to look out for when I'm watching the games. And can you... So let's say I'm playing my Death Knight then. Can I grip the player out of that circle, or
Yeah.
are they like okay?
Yeah. You just
Okay.
can't interrupt. You can't. They're immune to silence and interrupt effects for 8 seconds in it.
Okay, so I can't
You
kick
can
him
still
out.
CC him and all that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's when you
Good to
play
know.
double Boomkin Holy Priest.
Yeah, I was thinking that because maybe if you take that and you take Holy Ward, because like if they can't interrupt it, right, they'll try and stun it. But if you have Holy Ward on the Boomy, like how do they stop it then? You know, because the Holy Ward will absorb the stun. And then
Divine
it's
Shield.
CC.
Oh wait, you're a
Yeah.
warrior? See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
gonna try that one day. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That would be
So cheeky. Yeah. And power infusion on him.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Oh my god.
Like just that stun him as well.
Oh my god.
Yep. All in, boys. Let's go. Yeah. So. All right. So let's see. Garrus, are you ready to jump into these talents?
Yeah, I'm just imagining this, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I pray to God that never shows up on anywhere.
I'm gonna let you take a minute to recover, and I'll take the first row of these 15 tier talents. So Rusty, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna read. We're gonna go back and forth, just kind of reading out the talents here and what they do, and then we'll just let you give us your breakdown, your rendition of like, okay, so typically what we'll do is we'll play this, we'll baseline this.
Yeah.
Maybe this talent isn't relevant, or it's a toss up between multiples. So, all right. So
Yep.
up first we have Enlightenment. So Enlightenment, you regenerate mana 10% faster. We have Trail of Light. Trail of Light, when you cast Heal or Flash Heal, 35% of the healing is replicated to the previous target you healed with Heal or Flash Heal. And lastly, we have Renewed Faith. Your healing is increased by 10% on targets with your Renew. So
Okay.
break this down for us.
Okay, so, baseline, I usually use Enlightenment because, like, everything does a lot of damage. And you want a lot of mana, so it's pretty chill to have 10% more mana, like regeneration. But Trail of Light isn't really used in PvP as much anymore. I feel like this is more like a dungeon or a raid kind of talent.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, Heal and Flash Heal, I mean, use Heal a lot, but I feel like Enlightenment, this has more value compared. And Renewed Faith, I used to use this one. I sometimes switch into this one actually if I'm versing like a warrior team that has like healing reduction effects, like mortal wounds.
Okay.
And since warriors do they're pretty good right now, they do a lot of damage, the 10% more healing is actually pretty good. And usually go anyway versing a warrior, so Enlightenment isn't that effective into double melee comps with warriors and stuff. Also, in twos, if I'm versing like a double DPS comp, like rogue mage or like anything that's like going to be like a short kind of game,
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Renewed Faith as well because 10% more healing is more effective. You don't really need the mana because you never really go in a double DPS game, right?
Yeah.
So the healing is just like a little bit better.
So
as well.
Quick games, Renewed Faith. Dampeners, Enlightenment.
Yeah.
Got it.
Makes sense.
Unless you're versing warrior, yeah. Then
Yeah.
you're Renewed Faith anyway.
Cool.
All right. So then in the next tier, you got Angel's Mercy, where the damage you take reduces the cooldown of Desperate Prayer based on the amount of damage you just took. Body and Soul. This is the good old go-to one where when you shield somebody and Leap of Faith, their movement speed is increased by 40% for 3 seconds. And Angelic Feather, where you put the little feather on the ground and when somebody runs over it, they get to go 40% faster for 5 seconds. And that has 3 charges.
So I'll start with Angel's Mercy. I don't really take this ever, really. I've tried it. I've tried to make it work, but I don't think it's that great. Like, damage you take and the reduction it gives you from the damage, I feel like isn't that like big of a deal. Like, it's not really like anything insanely like it doesn't like cool down as much as you would want it to make it useful.
Got it.
Okay.
So it's kind of underwhelming a little bit, but yeah. Also, I feel like the other two you can kind of help your team with as well, opposed to Angel's Mercy, which is only yourself. And Body and Soul, I use this sometimes if I'm like, if I'm feeling a little bit lazy and it's easier to like give someone Body and Soul rather than place a feather under their feet if they need like the boost kind of thing. It's like I don't think Angelic Feather or Body and Soul aren't that much different really. Like they're both pretty good still. Although Body and Soul you can't spam it because you have the Weaken Soul effect after you use Powered Shield.
Yeah.
That's a bit also. I mainly use Angelic Feather though because I only really give them to myself also because I have a macro that puts it under my feet so I don't have to place it at all. Especially playing from Australia with 200 MS, it's a little bit hard sometimes to place it under people's feet and stuff.
Yeah.
But I have other macros.
Why do you keep putting it down behind me? I'm in front of it.
Yeah. But yeah, and that has 3 charges, so it's pretty useful. Also, with the greater fade, say if you greater fade, that gives you 50% movement speed as well, plus the feather, and you can like greater fade, use them both, and then you're like really fast. You just like run around a pillar or something to get away from someone. It's pretty good, like to maneuver away. Neat.
I didn't realize it stacked. How often are you even pushing Desperate Prayer? Just curious.
Usually if they train me, I'll press it with my Battle Master trinket.
Okay.
And because since Prayer of Mending, I mean Cardinal Mending now, heals you for 10% of your maximum health. So if I have both of those up, my health goes up by a lot with Battle Masters and Desert Prayer, and that would make 10% of my health be more of a heal also. Yeah. And then since Desert Prayer heals you when it cancels, it's like a little health stone as well. Sometimes I press it and just cancel it.
Okay.
It's like a little health stone to keep me out of like if I'm like versing a warrior with execute range or like touch of death, I'll like press it and then cancel it because it's like a health stone to keep me just out of that execute range also.
Good to know. That's cool.
Yeah, and you can use it while silenced as well.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Pog. Okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure. But yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Nice. All right, let's talk about the next one. So level 30 talent row here. We have Cosmic Ripple. When Holy Word Serenity or Holy Word Sanctify finish their cooldown, you emit a burst of light that heals up to 5 injured targets for 42% of your spell power. We have the Guardian Angel. When Guardian Spirit expires without saving the target from death, reduce its remaining cooldown to 60 seconds. Afterlife. Afterlife increases the duration of Spirit of Redemption by 50% and increases the range of your healing spells while in Spirit of Redemption by 30%.
All right.
This one's pretty straightforward for PvP at least.
Yeah.
So Cosmic Ripple is the heals up to 5 people when you use a Holy Word Holy Word ability. So that's not really effective in Arena. That's more of like a raid, because it's not really a big heal either. So that's more like a raid kind of talent.
It's
so
just a
like
ripple.
Raid.
Yeah,
it's like a big AoE kind of passive heal.
Okay.
Guardian Angel, which makes if your Guardian Spirit doesn't expire, it goes to a 1-minute cooldown opposed to a 3-minute cooldown. So that's really big. So that's like the best one in that row. And then Afterlife increases Spirit of Redemption by 50%. And the range to your healing spells by 30%. So this is okay if you take Spirit of Redemption PvP talent, which is very rare anyway. But again, that's not really worth to go in Arena, considering once you're in the Afterlife or in Spirit of Redemption, the game is pretty much over anyway. So
yeah,
unless you take Spirit of Redemption, or you have Spirit of Redeemer PvP talent, or you have the your Legendary Cloak where you die, you come back to life, but other than that, it's Guardian Angel. Even then, I think Guardian Angel still might be better. Just because it's a 1-minute cooldown, which is like really big.
Yeah,
you never really want your Guardian to expire anyway. You just use it for the extra healing.
Oh, sorry. Guardian Angel increase. Oh, because it increases the range of the healing spells?
Oh, no. Guardian Spirit. So when you put Guardian Spirit on, it increases healing, all healing by that target by 60%. Or through that target. Yeah.
Okay.
Not just by me. So say if I put it on a Warlock.
Yeah.
And I'm in the CC and he health stones.
Yeah.
It'll do like 60% more healing as well.
Nice.
So like anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. I can see, just thinking, I could see the Cosmic Ripple kind of also you could use for RBGs maybe if you're up in there in the scrum. Afterlife, I don't know if you still would want that in any PvP setting.
Yeah.
Maybe, but yeah.
I used to take it in, so like in very certain situations, like Rogue Mage in 2s, for example, because the game is short anyway, so it doesn't really matter if your Guardian's 1 minute or not, because like it's probably not going to be much longer than a minute or two. And
okay.
you used to be able to heal through Smoke Bomb with Spirit of Redemption. What is it? What is it when you come back to life? Spirit of Redemption, yeah.
Spirit of Redemption, yeah.
So when you're in that angel form, you used to be able to heal through Smoke Bombs as well, and you can't be targeted or CC'd as well. So when a Rogue Mage would like Smoke Bomb, I wouldn't have to run in there, try and run into the Smoke Bomb to heal him. I would just pop that, and then I have Afterlife, so it lasts even longer.
Wow.
And I would just sit there and heal, through it, and then I can't get targeted. And then say like out of it, I would like Greater Fade the CC or like to Step Kidney or something, and then it's like I'm unCCable, you know.
Nice.
Oh wow.
But yeah, that was good back then. I'm not sure if I think they might have fixed that you can't heal through Smoke Bomb, but I think it's still okay to take into the Rogue Mage when they're about to CC. You just go into that form because you can't be CC'd and you can still heal.
Very nice.
But yeah, other than that, it's pretty much I don't really take it.
All right.
Guardian Angel.
Guardian Angel all the way. All
Yep.
right. All right. Next tier, then you got the Psychic Voice, which reduces the cooldown of your Psychic Scream by 30 seconds, so you get to AoE fear more often. Censure, your Holy Word Censure stuns a target for 4 seconds and is not broken by damage. That's pretty big.
Holy Word Chastise. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What did I say? Did I say? Okay. Yeah. Holy Word Chastise stuns the target. Okay. And then Shining Force. This one I hate in BGs. It's where you do a burst of light and all enemies nearby get knocked away, and then they're slowed by 70% for 3 seconds. I have never been knocked off of a bridge or anything by this ever before.
Alright, so this one.
Right. Holy Word Yeet. Yeah, exactly.
So I go baseline Psychic Voice usually, just because it's like I feel like Fear has a lot more value than it should. So if you go to stun, it's obviously a minute cooldown, but with Psychic Voice, it's 30-second cooldown, which is like pretty big because I mean it depends really what you're playing. If you're playing like Rogue Mage Priest, I usually go the short Fear because I don't really need the stun because we've got a lot of stuns as Rogue Mage. Because like sub Rogue, a lot of stuns. It's like just a waste to take the stun. And I can just Fear more frequently too. So playing like certain comps, you'll take it. But if you're playing comps like Ret Warrior, I think stun's better because you can double stun. Like the Pally will hodge one, and then I will stun the other. So it's like cross CC kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like a healer and DPS will stun either one, and then we'll like go. And since it's like what's Pally stun cooldown, like 30 seconds, and you can get your stun up in like around 30 seconds if you work for it, because your smite resets your Chastise stun, or Chastise in general. But other than that, if I'm playing 2s, it also depends what I'm playing. Like if you're playing with a mage, so like Holy Priest mage, you need the stun, because if you don't have the stun, you can't lock anyone down to burst them in the sheeps, right?
Yeah.
So that's also really big to play with Holy Priest mage. Also, if I'm playing even when I play the Hunter in 2s, I still take the short Fear, because everyone knows the setup. It's like really annoying Hunter Priest in 2s because it's like trap Fear, and then like that on cooldown is really good. I just don't use the in cap at all because it DRs the traps. So like my Chastise will be an in cap if I don't take the stun, and that also DRs a trap. So I just don't press Chastise at all. But if I'm playing like low rated arenas, I'll take the stun no matter what, because I can like solo people myself then, because it's more damage kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Shining Force, I don't really play Shining Force too much in arenas, but yeah, as you said, like in battlegrounds and stuff, like Eye the Storm in the middle of the map that the flag is, you can like knock people off, get some easy kills that way. And Arify Basin, I think it is, with the lumber mill.
Yeah.
There you can like knock people off that too.
Yeah, I've been knocked off at the blacksmith. Get knocked into the moat if I'm not careful.
They can like
So,
MC you as
on
well
that,
and bring
on
you
that
closer
little
to you.
ridge right there by the flag. Yeah, absolutely. Or lumber mill. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
use so.
Yeah. It's all neat things. So
Yeah.
so that whole tier then is kind of like you have some choices depending on what you're playing and what your play style is. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
cool.
Let's talk about the next one here. So we have
Yeah.
Surge of Light. Your healing spells and smite have an 8% chance to make your next flash heal instant and costs no mana. Stacks to 2. Sweet. We have Binding Heal. This is a 3.4% base mana cost. It heals you, your target, and another friendly target within 20 yards for 94% of your spell power. Reduce the remaining cooldown on both Holy Word Serenity and Holy Word Sanctify by 3 seconds. There's a lot going on there. And then lastly, we have Prayer Circle. Using Circle of Healing reduces the cast time of your Prayer of Healing by 25% for 8 seconds.
Okay, so this one you pretty much always want to take Surge of Light if you're doing like PvP kind of things like arenas, because the instant flash heals that have no mana is also really good for resetting your Serenities. Is your big heal. And the other two aren't that great for arenas. Like Binding Heal it's like a cast time as well, and it's not really a big heal, although it does reset some cooldowns. Surge of Light gives you like shield procs, which also reset the same cooldowns anyway. So it's not really worth. If it wasn't a cast, maybe, but since it is a cast, it's like not really ideal. And Prayer Circle increases healing by Prayer of Healing. Oh no, reduces the cast time of Prayer of Healing. And I don't even have Prayer of Healing on my bars because that's like a raid. That's a raid heal, and I don't ever do raids, so that's also no good for arenas. But it's pretty good for raids when I do them, or if you do them. But yeah, it's just Surge of Light pretty much all the time.
Okay. What would the Circle of Healing be any, or the Prayer of Healing, would that be any good for RBGs as well?
It
or is it
might.
cast time too?
I'm not too sure. I think actually, yeah, it's probably is.
Okay.
It's alright for RBGs. I'd say it's probably worth maybe pressing or having it on your bars at least.
Yeah.
At the very least. All right.
Possibly if you're group healing or if you're healing a
Yeah.
flag carrier, it might make a difference. I would imagine if you're healing a flag carrier, you might prefer to take Surge of Light.
Yeah, like more single target. But if it's like a
Yeah.
team fight kind of thing, maybe it's probably worth the AoE heals.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Next one, we got Benediction. Your Prayer of Mending has a 25% chance to leave a renew on each target it heals. Divine Star, you throw a Divine Star forward for 24 yards, healing allies in its path for 70% of your spell power, and dealing 40% of spell power as holy damage to enemies. After reaching the destination, it comes back to you. Boomerang. And then Halo, you basically fart a ring of holy energy, and it heals allies and damages enemies up to 30 yards.
Alright, this one is so Benediction to start with. Ray Mending has a 25% chance to leave renew on the target. So this like synergizes well with the talent in the first row, Renewed Faith.
Yeah.
You take that. So the time you take that, it also. But since we press Prayer of Mending a lot now, this is like the best in slot 1 for arenas PvP. Because even if you don't have Renewed Faith, it's still good to have the Renewed chance up there for nothing really. Like it doesn't cost you mana.
Yeah, true.
And Divine Star, I used to take Divine Star last expansion, but I feel like it's a little underwhelming. It is fun to use sometimes, but I feel like Benediction is more ideal in this row. And then Halo is it's alright for battlegrounds, but in arenas it could be bad because like playing with a mage or a hunter or something has like a CC that you can break on your team, and you press Halo and it accidentally breaks it, then that's like a big deal also.
Right.
Yeah,
You don't want that. Nah. Yeah. But it's alright for like battleground and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Benediction for PvP
Okay.
arenas.
That makes sense. I would imagine that's probably the most hard lock talent that you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silly question. The Divine Star, can you damage somebody through a pillar with that?
Yes.
Okay.
If you make it shoot, if you shoot it like around the pillar, it won't go through a pillar, but like if they're like just on the edge, yeah.
Okay. If it like grazes, then it has the range.
Although it's really buggy and it doesn't put you in combat sometimes.
Oh.
Like, say if there's like a rogue and he's trying to get a re-stealth, and you hit him with a Divine
Yes.
Star, he can still get the re-stealth.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But
It's like,
Halo,
'cause-
Halo does though, right?
Yeah.
I think Halo does, yeah.
Yeah, because I know I've seen rogues get knocked out with Halo.
Yeah.
Because Disc can take that as well. So
Yeah. Huh. I wonder if that's because when you throw the star is the one doing the damage, so therefore you won't go into combat because
Yeah.
you're not doing the damage, the star is. So
It's kind of
weird.
annoying.
Yeah, that'd be upsetting. All right, how about you do? Let's do the last tier, and then we'll push through the rest of this stuff.
yeah, let's do it. So lastly, we have the Light of the Naru. The cooldowns of your holy words are reduced by an additional 33% when you cast the relevant spells. It's kind of open-ended, but okay. Apotheosis. Reset the cooldown of your holy words and enter a pure holy form for 20 seconds, increasing the cooldown reductions to your holy words by 300% and reducing their cost by 100%. Holy Words Salvation. 6% of your base mana on a 2.5 second cast. Heals all allies within 40 yards for 110% of your spell power. And applies Renew and 2 stacks of Prayer Mending to each of them. Cooldown reduced by 30 seconds when you cast Holy Word Serenity or Holy Word Sanctify.
Alright. So, Light of the Naru is what we used to play last expansion. It is a good talent, especially with one of the conduits that also reduces the exact same thing for a smaller percentage. But considering the meta right now is more bursty orientated, I feel like it's not the best to play. Although I do really want to play it, I think it's Apotheosis, because Apotheosis, in my opinion, is like kind of broken, at least right now.
Yeah.
So Apotheosis resets cooldowns of your holy words when you press it. So, say if you have Chastised, you're playing Chastised Stun, you Chastised Stun them, then you can Apotheosis, and then you can restun them again, because like it'll come off cooldown. With this. It lasts 20 seconds also, and then reduces cooldowns of your holy words by 300%. And it costs no mana, so this is like the best, because even if you're like in dampening and everyone's running out of mana, you get Apotheosis up, you can use like your holy word spells to heal, and it's like you don't even need mana because it's free. So that's like
Nice.
the good thing about it. It also saves mana. But yeah, it's like really good. I guess it's mainly for cooldown reduction. So it's like if someone's like popping off using their cooldowns, you can trade it as a cooldown in response to that also.
Okay.
Because you get Serenities up and Sanks up like a lot faster. They cost no mana, so it's like, yeah. Even a cooldown too, it's not too big of a cooldown.
Yeah.
But yeah, it used to be...
2 minutes seems pretty benign.
Yeah, 2 minute cooldown in the last 20 seconds. It used to, I don't think it used to reset your holy words instantly when you press it. I think it was just a 300% cooldown reduction. But since it does, it's like really good. And then Salvation is... It's good for raids, but it's a 12-minute cooldown.
Oh,
And-
jeez.
Yeah, 12-minute cooldown. And even though your Holy Word Serenities and Holy Word Sanks reset it by 30 seconds, it's still not that worth, because as you see, it's like a spread heal. So it puts Renew and 2 stacks Prayer Mender on each and every person, and it heals for only 2.5k. At least mine says 2.5k. So in an arena setting, 2.5k for a 12-minute cooldown isn't that big. Especially
No,
with,
that's terrible.
even with Renew and Prayer Mending, yeah.
Yeah. 12 minutes.
It's Apotheosis mainly.
It's like I
Yeah,
don't
that's a
even
big
get to
one.
use it for next arena. Yeah.
Yeah. But in raid it's good. Like if I'm doing a raid, I'll take it, because it's like it's like to boost boost myself up the recount, healing done ladder.
Yeah, unless you're playing Cloud9, then maybe you'll get like 3 uses of it. But
yeah. Yeah, maybe like a low dampener.
Yeah, 86%. What was it? 87% dampening. God.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the record.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that's the standard talents, and then of course you have the PvP talents. So
yeah.
So let's run through. So we got the Cardinal Mending, which you had mentioned already once. There's the Delivered from Evil, Divine Ascension, Greater Fade, Greater Heal, Holy Ward, Holy Word Concentration, Miracle Worker, Ray of Hope, Spirit of the Redeemer, and Thought Steal. So I guess let's play the negative game first. What's the ones that you would never take?
Okay, the one that I would never take is Holy Word Concentration, which is the one I was telling you about, which is the immune.
Unless you're double than me.
It's just, yeah, there's more valuable things to take, usually. And Greater Heal I would never take anymore. So there's those two. Delivered from Evil I would never take.
Okay.
Spirit of the Redeemer I would pretty much never take either. Just because these just have, it's like, there's certain situations where they would be good, but, well, I mean, except for Delivered from Evil, but it's like, what you want to take is like, has so much more value that you would just take that usually pretty much anyway over that, even if it was a certain situation where it would be good,
Okay.
But, yeah, and Divine Ascension is like the new one, but it's also not that great. Just how it works is like kind of weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then that leaves. Let's see here. So you got Cardinal Mending then.
Yeah.
So you're saying not Divine Ascension, right? So then you have Greater Fade. Oh, sorry. But do you say
Divine Ascension is no good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So Cardinal Mending, Greater Fade, Holy Ward, Ray of Hope.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And Thought Steal, yeah.
Oh, and Thought Steal. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So, I'll just say why Divine Ascension isn't good, because it's like a new talent, and some people play it all new. So what it does is when you press it, it takes you up into the air, and you can only use helpful holy spells, so like heals. You can't do damage and stuff. Or like mind controls and stuff, but it takes you too high in the air. So, it actually takes you out of range of your teammates, so you can't actually heal them.
Oh my god.
Unless yeah.
This
Unless
game
it's
is no
directly
bugs at all.
underneath you. I don't know if it's a bug, but it's like, yeah, in arenas, it's like if you did that, they would just switch targets, and then you can't heal the target they switch to. If they're like hitting you and you use it.
Hey, you could take this ability where you CC yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless your teammate is standing directly underneath you, that's the only way to get into range. Because that's like the shortest distance. But like, even if it's out of it like by a little bit, it's like still too far, which is like a big deal.
You got to use it with your demon hunter.
Yeah, it's like that basically.
That's hilarious. Okay, that's sad. It's sad. Like, I mean, it's a really cool sounding talent, but yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they just increase the range. So.
Yeah, they need to decrease the range or something. Or yeah, make the healing range higher when you
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But what you mainly want to take, or like what your baseline is always Greater Fade. So you always have baseline Greater Fade no matter what. Okay. So that's when you use it. You're unhittable pretty much for 4 seconds. So, I mean, if you have dots on you, they'll still do damage to you, but you can't get stunned or like damage can't be done to you. And you also get a 50% movement speed increase. And it's really good because it's only 45-second cooldown, and it's a shadow ability. So there's like a little trick you can do with it is, say you're at like 100% or near 100%, and someone's like training you and like hitting you, trying to kill you, and they have a kick up, they have an interrupt up. You can cast. I'll just start casting like random healing spells, even if I don't need them, if I'm like full health, just to get kicked out of the way. And because I always have that like the full back on Greater Fade because it's a shadow, since it's on a shadow scroll. If I kicked on Holy and they do somehow burst me down, I can just Greater Fade,
Yeah.
And like, while I'm in the duration of the interrupt, I'm also in a greater fade. I can't get hit, so it's like a little safety net.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Use like
Okay,
that.
cool.
Yeah.
And then chances are, just between some GCDs or whatever, you probably will have a heal spell up while you're still in greater fade. So then you start healing yourself, and okay.
Yeah,
Makes
so you like
sense.
use it the duration of the lockout. You just greater fade it because it's like 4 seconds, and most lockouts are around that. I mean, it's mages at 6 seconds, but still, that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
And Cardinal Mending is a new talent that came out this expansion, which is like 10% of you heal the target for 10% of or their health, whoever the target is, and it also ignores any healing reduction. So mortal wounds, it'll still do 10% no matter what. So no matter what, it always does 10%. Unless it's like dampening, of course, but
Yeah.
baseline 10%, which is really good. It doesn't stack with conduits. People ask me if it stacks with conduits. It doesn't, because prayer mending, even though it does proc off prayer mending, in the recount, prayer mending and cardinal mending are 2 different heals.
Mm.
So, but they're from the one ability, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yep.
But yeah, so greater fade, cardinal mending, pretty much all the time. And then Miracle Worker is what I take, which is Serenity has 2 charges. And it's 25% reduced cooldown. So Serenity is like your main heal.
Yep.
So 2 charges of that is pretty good, especially with Apotheosis up, because you can reset them. It only resets 1, but still it's like no mana, so that's also big. And that's pretty much the main, except sometimes I'll swap in Thought Steal, which is you can steal a spell from someone on the enemy that has mana. If they have mana, you can steal a spell.
Yep.
But it's set, so like Mage is Polymorph, Warlock is Fear, Pally is Freedom, but it's only really worth, I take it against mages in certain comps. So like Rogue Mage, if I'm versing a Rogue Mage, they're gonna sheep a lot. So I'll take Thought Steal and try and preemptively Thought Steal one of their setup goes, so the Rogue will stun me. But when I see the Rogue's about to stun me, I'll Thought Steal a Mage so he can't sheep off the stun. Kind of thing. And then I can sheep as well, also, which is a big thing as well. But yeah, only against like mages, like Rogue Mage, sometimes like Feral Mage comps, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'll just stick with Cardinal, because I swap out Cardinal for Thought Steal.
Okay.
And yeah, Holy Ward, I don't really use it ever, pretty much, but it's good in twos into some things. Of course, I can't purge. So like a Holy Pally, say like Holy Pally Hunter even.
Okay.
They can't like purge it off. They can maybe, like, you can use Holy Ward for the Hodges and for the traps. So the only way to get it off is if you pet stuns you and then does it, but then you can just fade. But yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but Holy Ward's very
Pretty good,
situational as well.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
All right. And then, do you use Ray of Hope at all?
Oh yeah. Ray of Hope's good sometimes into like, you can sometimes take it into like bursty comps that have a lot of CC, like Rogue Mage, for example.
Yep.
Because sometimes, say you'll come out of CC and they're killing your teammate and he's really low. And since Ray of Hope will pause all healing and damage and increase healing by 50% for 6 seconds, you can like quickly come out of CC and press Ray of Hope, and Ray of Hope on like 1% or something if you don't have a Guardian or you don't want the Guardian to proc.
Yeah.
And then you can Serenity and heal them up. But yeah, that's pretty good against Rogue Mages and setup based comps as well.
That would be so frustrating. See, you're like, I can kill him. No, why am I not killing him anymore?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty fun. I wish it was baseline though, but it needs to be baseline. But yeah, it's kind of hard to fit it in sometimes.
I can imagine. All right. Okay. So that's good. You know, you have 2 kind of always have to use, and then ones you can kind of toss around. All right.
Yeah.
And then okay. So you said for the Covenant, always the Venthyr, right? For the mind games.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing else that really seems to work, eh?
I used to be, I think it was, what's it called? What's it called? It's like Night Fae. No, the other one. Yeah, Kyrian, that's the one.
Yeah.
At the start I was originally Kyrian because it gave like mastery and stuff, which is really good for Holy Priest.
The Pelagos, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it gave me mastery, and it had like, it turned your smite into instant like blast bolts or something, which is pretty cool. So it was alright, but like it did alright damage, and the mastery was good, but mind games is just too good. You know, you have to have it because it reduces healing as well. It's like it's just insane to have.
It is.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, it's pretty much just Venthia.
It can secure
All
kills. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're building up our Holy Pally repertoire here pretty good. Of course, we're in Shadowlands, so everything's about board power, right? So what's the kind of what soulbind conduits are we talking about here? Is there like a one soulbind rules them all? Or
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at least I think so.
Okay.
So it's Nagia. The Mistblade is what you take, the lady you take for the 3 whatever it's called, you know, the trees, the different trees.
The
and it's
trees,
because in the last trait of the tree is familiar predicaments, which reduces the duration of interrupts and roots and snares by 25%. So
Oh wow.
So when you get kicked, it's like the interrupt is reduced some as long, which is like pretty big, I feel like. And the first trait in the tree is haste, which is like haste isn't as great for Holy Priest now, but to have it for free is like, or like
Why
a buff
not?
for free up to 20% is like pretty good, because like that's also casting and stuff. But any others don't seem to be as great in terms of like the passives they give you.
Yeah.
Like the last one, Draven gives the second one, which is Theotar, the Mad Duke. He gives a mastery. He gives like a chunk of mastery, but you have to be standing still.
Yeah.
And for arenas, like you don't stand still
good
too
luck.
often, especially as a healer. Yeah.
It
So, like,
deteriorates slowly or like decays slowly, doesn't it? But it's still like
Yeah, something like that. But it's
Yeah.
like it's random. It procs randomly. So imagine you're like crossing pillars, and it procs in the middle, and you got to stand in the middle. You know, you don't want to do that.
yeah.
It's like, oh, the mastery's here. I got to stand here now, and then like you
Yeah.
get CC'd or whatever. You know. So like the interrupt one on the first one's probably the best. And for conduits, resonant words is what I take, which is this is one of my take. Casting holy word spell increases the healing of your next heal or flash heal by 60%.
Nice.
So if you go back to the talent, and we have Surge of Light, which is the one that has an 8% chance to make your flash heal instant and cost no mana. So that ties in well with that, because say you use a Serenity, and then your next heal or flash heal will be increased by 60%. You can Serenity, and then you have the flash heal proc. You flash heal, there's more heals, you know. It just all fits in like that. And so that's my potency conduit.
Okay.
And then mental recovery, my finesse conduit. People ask me why I use this one over like clear mind, which is the one that makes you dispels, cost less mana. And because mental recovery, when you fear someone, after the fear ends, their movement speed is reduced by 35% for 5 seconds. So
Okay.
I also think of it as like a longer CC. So say I fear someone on the pillar, like a healer. Say I fear like a healer on the pillar, and he's in fear and he's running backwards behind the pillar even more.
Yeah.
And then once he comes out of that, he has to run back around the pillar to heal his teammates, but he's slowed. He's like slowed, so it like adds probably like, I don't know, 35%, whatever that is. Maybe like an extra second it'll take him.
Yeah.
So it's like, people don't see it as that, but that's how I see it. It's like a slow, so it's good. And it's also good against like melee if they're training you. You can like fear them, and then out of that you can get away. You have more time to get away because they're slowed.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I would counter that a lot of classes seem to have movement. Like, I mean, a warrior could just charge or leap to you. Same with like a feral could just leap to you. So I mean, like there's some that kind of get around that. But I see what you're saying though. Like why not just take some free CC over top of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah. It's also
how often are you dispelling and purging and all that stuff then?
it really depends what I fight. Against mages, probably purge a lot more.
Okay.
Because you're like trying to purge their shields off and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, you dispel, but it's like dispel's like not insanely used because it also has a cooldown, like 8-second cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
But Clear Mind is still good with the 26% less mana or whatever it is, the percentage less mana on it. Like that's still pretty big. But maybe in like a long game, you probably Clear Mind's probably maybe a little bit more valued, especially against like mages and stuff. But I usually just keep in mental recovery as like the baseline one. But that's just because of my playstyle. I play a lot of like rogue mage, so like especially with the 30-second fear also, it'd be most valuable of that. Like if you didn't play the 30-second fear, it's probably not worth to take. If you have the 1 minute fear, yeah, you probably take Clear Mind then.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, the others, Move with Grace, Leap of Faith cooldown is reduced by 26 seconds. Not insane. Power Infusion incurs a 7.8 second or whatever second reduced cooldown when you cast it on an ally. So, like that's not that big. Like 8 seconds isn't insane compared to like the mental recovery or Clear Mind one. But yeah, it's either mental recovery or Clear Mind.
6 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. Woo!
Yeah.
Heyo.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
What's the next one? Endurance. So Desperate Prayer heals you for additional 8% or whatever, around 8% of your maximum health over 5 seconds. So it's like a little heal over time when you press Desperate Prayer. It's not insane, like 8% of your health. It's pretty small. I mean, all endurance ones are pretty small. Of a difference, really. Like, but yeah, I just take that.
Okay, Delight's Inspiration. All right.
Yeah. And then Shadow Perceptions for my second potency. Which is
Shadow's Perception. Oh, the Venthyr.
Mind games. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a move.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I can see. I'm looking at the Wildhead site and seeing what some of the maximum percentages are because as ranks go up, and I can see the mental recovery there on the Psychic Scream. It gets up to 60% speed reduction.
Yeah. That's pretty big.
That's going to be game changing.
It's really big.
So, all right, cool. I like it. And of course, everybody has to have a legendary nowadays.
Oh,
so,
yes. So, the biggest difference, like the best one, even though it's a little annoying to get, is Harmonious Apparatus.
Okay.
Which is, so when you use Circle of Healing, it reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Sanctify, and Prayer of Mending reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Serenity, and Holy Fire reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Chastise, all by 4 seconds.
Oh, wow.
So, it's really good, especially since passively, a lot of our abilities reduce cooldowns also. So it's like an extra cooldown reducer. And it's like playing with it and without it is like night and day difference, I feel like.
Okay.
But you have to do the raid to get it, or you have to kill the last boss in the raid to get it. Which is the annoying part. But it's 100% drop on any mode. So.
Okay, I was just about that. So you can just go LFR and...
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Andallyn?
Yeah, LFR, I know.
Yeah. Here's what it is. Hey, you have to be able to get something from LFR, right? Yeah.
No, that's fine. It's good to get it from LFR, but it's the fact that you have to do LFR. That's the...
Yeah.
Fair. All right, so is it like Harmonious Apparatus? That's it? That's all? No other...
I mean, that's all I usually use, but some people like to use the one that brings you back to life, whatever that's called. Ex-Anshi, Return of the Archbishop Benedictus, I think it is.
Okay.
Say it. So when you die, if you have this legendary on, when you die, you go into the angel form, Spirit of Redemption.
Yep.
But when it expires, instead of actually dying, you just come back to life.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. And the amount of health you come back with depends on how much you heal while you're in the angel form. Or heal your team or whoever you can heal.
You got a pump.
But
Okay.
and then you can only do that every 10 minutes. So like in an arena, you probably only get it once. You know.
Yeah.
It is pretty fun, but I just think harmonious apparatus is still better in most cases.
Okay.
Yeah. The rest aren't that great really.
All right.
But they're the only two I would use. But yeah, I only mainly use harmonious apparatus.
Cool.
So, I have one. What about Sefu's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be okay in twos, but in sometimes. But I feel like, yeah, in threes, like what is it? Reduces the effectiveness of crowd control by 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be good to have in threes as well because there's a lot of CC. But then again, harmonious apparatus is just like it's just so good in threes. I don't know.
Sefu's isn't
Like-
as good now that people have higher item level, and so like 80 stats is not as
Yeah.
valuable as it was back when like the average item level was like 210.
Yeah.
But now since the average item level is like 230, 240, 80 like Sefu's is not so good now.
Well,
Yeah.
so the reason why I was asking was 'cause I'm wondering if that 10% also stacks with the soul bind.
Oh, it might actually. Yeah. With
So
the
you-
interrupt effects.
So you'd have
Yeah.
like 30% reduction there, right? Plus reduced CC.
No.
Oh, sorry.
So the soul bind's only on interrupts.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shoot.
But yeah, that would be like 35% reduction on interrupts. Yeah. That'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Andallyn, did we miss anything?
No, I mean we can talk about the stat prio, which we did talk about a little bit. So I mean everyone's taking versatility. You mentioned mastery was really good, and you also alluded to haste. So tell us about
Yeah.
your stats.
Okay, so we take versatility, of course, in PvP arenas, because that's everyone takes that usually. But so I'm versatility, mastery main, and then crit and haste. But so versatility first, mastery second, and we do this because mastery it gives us a passive, which is Echo of Light, which is your direct healing spells heal for an additional percentage based on your mastery over 6 seconds. So it's like a hot. So say, like I have 20% mastery, so my direct healing spells will heal for an additional 20% over 6 seconds. So if you like use a big heal like Guardian Serenity, that'll have Echo Light proc, and then you'll have a hot based off how much it heals,
Yeah.
which is usually big. So yeah, that's why we like mastery.
Yeah.
It's really good. Haste, since everything's pretty much like a lot of our heals are instant, we don't really use haste too much.
Right.
We do cast heal and stuff from time to time, but yeah, it's not as valued as it was last expansion with like greater heal. That's all we had, so we'd prioritize haste back then.
Okay.
And crit is just like not that great either. I don't know, it's just too random to want to stack it and try and base it off. Like there's just like more valuable stats.
Yeah.
His versatility, versatility, mastery. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
But yeah, so it must be
okay.
good now.
And are you going just for the 30% cap, or is that like your soft cap, or you like you don't care if you had the chance to go like 50% mastery? Would you go just full bore mastery?
Yeah, if I could get more mastery, I would. But it's
Okay.
just 20% now because that's just like also a thing. If you make a legendary, if you make harmonious apparatus, you can put it on shoulders or ring. And I made a mistake and put it on my shoulders, which is a bad idea. Because if you put it on your ring, you can have 2 versatility mastery rings because you can put your own stats into the legendary, of course. But
Yeah.
you can't buy 2 versatility mastery rings from the PvP vendor either. So, but
Yes.
you can buy shoulders from the PvP vendor that are mastery and verse. So you get
course.
extra if you do it that way. So don't make the same mistake as me and put your legendary in your shoulders.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Are you gonna craft another set?
I'm kind of too lazy to do it. I should though. I really should, but it's
Fair
still a lot of
enough.
Torghast.
Yeah.
It is.
Maybe
But
when they release the catch-up mechanic for Soul Ash, you'll think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really hope they do. Yeah. All right. So I think you mentioned strategy. You mentioned comps. You're talking, pretty much anything you normally have a priest with.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. How do you win? Like, what? I guess you're dealing with RMP. You kind of alluded, you said this already, but it's basically, if you're doing twos, stun one target, stun the other target. You do chastise stun if you can. If you're doing RMP, what is it? Is it blind into the blind into a fear into a sheep, or is it?
No. So
I'm
okay,
such a noob with
RMP,
this sometimes.
no, it's fine. So the good thing about Holy Priest is like the chastise, right? So it's like more control. So whether you take the stun or the incap, it's still really good. So in RMP, it'll be the rogue will stun 2 people. So stun 2 people, and then I, the Holy Priest, would just chastise the third, right? So like it's usually the rogue stuns the kill target and the healer, and then the third, say it's like a shaman even. So the rogue stunning them, so the mage can sheep off the stun.
Yeah.
Onto healer. But say we're versing like a team that has a shaman, I would chastise the shaman because he can press grounding and stop the sheep when he sees the stuns. So like he double stuns and then I chastise all at the same time. So it's like everyone's CC, there's nothing they can do to stop the sheeps, right?
Yeah.
So like use your chastisers in ways to stop them from stopping your team from doing things, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yeah. Or like a warrior intervene, you can like chastise a warrior so he can't intervene in something.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. But in twos it's a little different.
Yeah.
If you're playing with like a mage, because
Yep.
you have no stun if you don't have, because it's twos, right? If you don't have rogue, there's no stun. So you take the stun there, and then the mage would DB sheep, and then you would stun the kill target, and then he can boss, and you just do that over and over until you win.
It's pretty much your role no matter what healing spec you're playing with RMP.
Yeah.
Sorry. So if you're, let's say, whatever, the enemy comp has a hybrid with an off spec heal, would that also be a focus for doing the chastise stun?
For
so then
sure.
they can't.
That makes it more important that you land it and you time it properly then.
Yeah, so like a boomkin.
Right.
So say if you're versing a boomkin team in threes, the boomkin's always in stealth as rogue mage, even because like druids have that incapacitating roar as well. Like it's like a big range. So my job is when we verse a boomkin is they'll open on the healer and the DPS to like do their setup, the stun sheep, and then my job is as soon as the boomkin comes out of stealth, I have to chastise him instantly because he's going to do the in-cap roar and maybe try and clone, or he's going to spam heal the kill target kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like as soon as the druid comes out, I gotta chastise him to stop that.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
How do I kill you then?
Like
Just
how do you
just
win against a holy priest?
Yeah, do I just
Or
you
just kill
and?
me?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I think whenever people try and train me in arenas, I get excited because like I like that. Like I would prefer them to train me than train my
Greater
team.
Fade.
Yeah, because I can use Desperate Prayer on myself. I can use Greater Fade. I can use everything. Like it's just a lot easier if they train me. So, to beat a Holy Priest there's a few ways, but a big one is if you have stuns, try and bait out Guardian from the Holy Priest onto someone else. So like, you can kill a priest if like say I'm a Holy Priest, I have no trinket. I have Guardian, so when I don't have a trinket, I'd be very careful with my Guardian who I press it on, because you can press Guardian while you're in the stun as well.
Yep.
So if you try and bait the Guardian out of the Holy Priest that doesn't have a trinket, you can then just switch to him, because if he does have the Guardian and no trinket, he can still Guardian himself in the stun, because you can use Guardian through stuns. But yeah, you can bait the Guardian out and then switch to the Holy Priest, and then you can kill him, because they usually die pretty fast in stuns.
Yeah.
because they don't have like priests have like PS. They can use that while stunned, but Holy Priest
You said
they have
disrepair
nothing.
too, right?
Yeah, but if you're
that
in a
was
stun,
with
you
the
can't use
silence.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. They pretty much die pretty fast if they don't have Guardian or Trinket. If they're in a stun, that is. Because I mean, out of that you can just create a fade, but like usually you can kill them in a stun pretty easily.
All right. Okay, so stun, kill through the stun, and make sure you do it. You bait out the Guardian before, so that they can't save their own butts. All right.
Or I mean, if you have mind games on your team, then Guardian is like irrelevant because the healing that you would get from Guardian, mind games absorbs the whole thing, so Guardian's useless, right?
Okay.
So like RMP can like kill a Holy Priest that doesn't have a trinket, because even if he does Guardian the stun, like Rogue stuns the Holy Priest Guardians, and then the Priest mind games, or the Shadow Priest mind games, anything. This is basically like you have no Guardian because you'll just die through it. Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
All right. Andallyn, I'll let you have the best question.
All right, man. So to kind of like wrap this all up, we kind of end on a soft note and kind of a fun note. And we this is our iconic question here. So the question is essentially, what is one thing you would change? But this can literally be anything. It can be literally anything. You can make whatever you want. You'll get it. But it can only be one thing.
Only one? Shit. Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a hard choice. I would. I'm not trying to be too biased, but
Be biased.
I think.
You be as biased as you want. It's all
Yeah.
Okay. I would probably make Ray Hope baseline, or there is no or. It's only one thing. It's either Ray Hope baseline or bring back Spectral Guys. Do you remember Spectral Guys?
I don't remember that
Feasibility?
one. No.
It was like in World of Draenor. I think they removed it. It was in then and before that. You'd press it, and it would leave.
Leave the apparatus, and then you would like shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and you're in stealth running through like for 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
That was really fun.
And people would
I'd
like
probably bring that
attack
back.
your little like figure or
Yeah.
whatever. Figment.
I'd bring that back for sure. That's it.
Yeah, spectral guys. That's right.
That was fun.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay. Andallyn, do you have one?
Yeah, I'm gonna be cheesy this time, and I'm just gonna say I want some absolutely balling transmogs. I feel like priest transmogs are really cool, and I want some better transmogs.
Just the transmog, eh?
Yep. Simple.
Yeah. All right.
We take those.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Rusty could be on board with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. We love transmogs.
Oh, yeah. It's a real end game.
So
That's it.
I'm gonna think RBGs here. So I'm going to ask for them to implement a PvP talent that allows the leap, the grip,
Yeah.
where it can cross like 60 or 80 yards or something like that, or even like 100 yards.
Oh my
Like just make
God.
it super. Yeah. So like if you want to, you could just yoink somebody like clear across the map just for.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Imagine playing like a few priests and you have that, and like it's a flag carry map, and everyone just lines up.
Yeah,
that'd
exactly.
be fun.
No, I would
Like,
have my rogue.
expressed.
My rogue would be Cappy. He'd be like, dude, I'm gonna get gold mine. He'd be like 3/4 of the way through the cap, and I'd be like, grip.
Oh yeah, that'd be annoying.
You yoink your own guy off the node.
Oh, you bet I would yoink my own dude off the node.
That's nice.
I do that sometimes. It's
Oh, that'd be so funny.
Cap the flag.
Hmm.
It's like I want to cap the flag, then I grip them off it, and then I do it.
Yeah, exactly. Or I would take that one ability that puts me really far up in the air, and I would go up in the air,
Yeah.
yoink them up there in the air or something.
Oh, that'd be. You're horrible. You're horrible. Now you want to be. Okay. I was just saying I should add like one more bar to it, but it's okay. Okay. All right. Let's talk about what has happened in the news. Let's see what's going on.
All right. Who ordered up an extra large can of whoop ass?
All right. Our news.
Alrighty. Yeah. So, like I said, Death Bowl, Diabolos's Death Bowl matches, they've been doing it every month. So, March happened, and Win on Blue took first place. So, congratulations to them.
They killed the shaman, I guess?
No, they have the shaman.
Oh, by playing blue. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's why they win on blue, because they
Gotcha.
got it. Yeah. So congratulations to them for taking that. That was again, phenomenal series. I love watching these things. The whole the class obstruction makes for really fun comps. What else? So there were some hot fixes. There's some more class tuning. So we saw hunters get some buffs. We saw the outcome of that, I think, just recently with how much Beastmasters have become more relevant in arenas again.
Yep.
So Windwalker's got a slight buff. Demo Logs got a little buff, so we're going to start seeing them played a bit more, I think. So there was a tank buff that just went through today, and I really appreciate that first they said they were going to make the tank buffs, and then I think it was last night, right before it went live, they announced that it was going to be PvE only. Good. So yeah, so it was almost like a 10% reduction of damage straight across the board, and that got that's only PvE. Thank goodness, because as far as I've seen, there's some tanks that are they're almost immortal in some cases.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
And thankfully, if you guys ran into this or not, I know his Annie Fuchsia and Maldiva were talking about this on socials and that.
Yeah.
But the Death Knight, the Heartstop Aura, and the Delirium was bugging out some of their abilities. So you know how the Heartstop Aura and the Delirium is supposed to reduce cooldowns a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some of the Warlock abilities, it was like 6 hours.
Oh yeah, I did
God.
see Mike talking about. That's right. Yeah.
I felt bad. I laughed because I'm DK main now. So whatever. But they fixed it. So yeah. So be it. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I didn't really see anything else that really kind of jumped out at me for PvP stuff. So there's that. But here's one. The Burning Crusade. The closed beta has started for the return for Burning Crusade Classic. So, why is this important? Why, Gerissar, are you talking about this in the esports or the PvP news? Well, that's because Burning Crusade is when arenas came out, and that was the start of esports. So,
and wow,
yeah,
That is true. You can't you can't do arenas or anything or like on the beta, right?
So they're only at level 68. They just increased to level 68, so they haven't gotten max level yet.
Oh, okay.
But
I see.
They should be able to.
Yeah. At least Battlegrounds or something, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Skirmishes even? I don't know. Wait, there's no skirmishes back then.
I don't even know if they can. No, they should, because they instituted war games in the classic server, so they probably allow war games still, but not skirms.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, they wouldn't be skirms now.
Yeah. That said, right now it's very limited closed beta. It's like basically just above friends and family. So, I think it's just for the PvE sake right now, just checking the leveling, making sure there's no horrible bugs before they go into that other stuff. But I do know the folks over at Ready Raider are poised and ready. So as soon as this actually goes live, we'll start seeing basic classic arenas again. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Another interesting thing. This one I completely missed it, and I saw it show up again. You ever do combat logs on raids? You ever do combat logging?
Yeah.
You check out how you're doing on stuff. Have you ever wanted to do that for Arena, but just couldn't because there wasn't any way to do that?
Yeah.
Well, now you can.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a website called WoWArenaLogs.com. They have an add-on. It will log basically your combat log, and then if you go and check it out, you can see everybody's matches.
Wow.
Basically 2v2 and 3v3, and you can see how they did. So I can see this being good in many ways. One, you help for self-reflection and see how you did on things. And then furthermore, you can, maybe somebody's saying how good they are and, it was you that, it was because you didn't do enough. Well, you can bring up the combat logs like this and be like, no, dude, see, I did 13 interrupts and 22 CCs. What did you do? Right? So, anyway. So I'll have those links in the show notes, like always. And just for anybody, I know our friend Stoops has been very vocal in the community talking about the issues with the LFG channel or the LFG tool. And has been talking a lot about trying to implement a solo queue in game and talking, trying to bring that awareness into the community. As part of that, he has actually made a guild over on Horde Tichondrius, North America. And I know he's doing a bunch of work there. And I believe he's also doing some work with our friend Cherry over at the Oasis Discord to do some. So I know between the two of those, they're looking to try and build something community-wise to help players find players.
Yeah.
So this ties back to Andallyn, your concerns with the LFG and trying to avoid it.
Yep.
And
I like
Rusty?
this stuff.
Yeah. Rusty,
if I
now
was
you
more active, I would probably play in it.
Oh, yeah. I'm already in a guild. I don't want to jump to another guild, but 'tis what it is. I mean, at least the way battle groups work nowadays and all the cross realm and everything like that, I think this just helps.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
But I mean, if any of our listeners are looking and wondering where to go, once again, we've talked about them before, but there's another tool in the toolbox to help find teammates. So, well, that's about it for the news. I guess, Rusty, do you have any shout outs you'd like to make?
I mean, if anyone's interested, they can come peep my Twitch. I'm usually live on Twitch at RustyMVP. But yeah, I usually just stream Holy Priest stuff. I'm a Holy Priest arenas. That's about it. But yeah, if anyone's interested, that's what's up.
All Holy Priest, all the holy time.
That's it.
There you go.
There you go. All right, Andallyn, how about you, bud?
I do not have anyone in particular this time.
All right.
No, not today.
Not today. All right. Well, I am going to shout out once again the people that support the Warcraft Radio guys over and gals through Patreon, and the people that have been going to the merch store that they just launched and going to check out all that stuff. So if you want to get some funky Murloc gear, or I think they have some masks as well, some T-shirts and stickers, go over to warcraftradio.com and you can check that stuff out there. I know the team has been working really hard in the background to get that and then some other stuff. So always new stuff being put up there, so go check it out. And that is that. So I don't know, Andallyn, why don't you let our listeners know where they can find us?
Sure. You can contact us directly with a tweet to @technically_PvP. or by an email to technicallypvp@gmail.com. You can also join our discussions on the Warcraft Radio Discord in the Technically PvP channel.
Indeed. And you can visit the Warcraft Radio website, where there's a podcast directory with us and many other great shows over at warcraftradio.com. Go over there. You can give us a review or any of the other shows and let everybody know what you think of what you're listening to. Again, as always, everybody, links for all this and more is going to be in the show notes. I want to thank everyone for listening. You have a great night. Ciao.
Take care.